The Nerlin Nerds podcast is brought to you by What Lola Wants. Go to WLWPrivateChefs.com for information to reserve top quality chef and restaurant services in the Chicagoland area. Pulpery Media presents Nerlin Nerds with your hosts, Brock and Ben. This is where we discuss the pop culture topics that interest us and those minor details that irritate us. Literally, yeah.
Yeah. She was fucking the Atreides boy,
right,
and then murdered them all with poison.
Right, and let one live, which I think is the current Atreides dad. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense because one of them would have had to have lived.
Well, remember, she let like the youngest brother,
right,
who wanted to know about the stink sack.
Well, now you know.
No,
Go smell all your stink sacks out there. Go
no,
away.
don't. They'll kill you.
All of them. So, yeah, that's her. So she's terrible.
Yeah.
And pregnant at the same time, I take it. Because she was fucking an Atreides kid who is now dead.
Correct.
Which created Desmond.
I get, they presented her as like young, naive.
Right.
I mean, even in love, and then you get to before you get to the last episode, she's still doing her sister's will by killing all of the Atreides.
Right.
For revenge for their brother.
Griffin.
Yeah.
Come on, man, you should have let Griffin die. It's such a terrible name. Go on, I digress. Just Griffin.
He's in a soccer league right now.
Yeah, he is. Speaking of the Atreides kid and his accent, all I could picture is like Phil Foden or something.
Phil Foden,
I just...
I'll play soccer. I play football.
Go. He's not Harry Kane, though.
I think they all sound the same. But, the fuck was it? Oh, but yeah. So, but... progressively, yeah, like it gets more to where even I think they do present it to where even like the killing of the Atreides wasn't Lila's. It was Tula's plan,
right?
So like she's this sociopath.
I'm assuming she knew she was pregnant. She just 86'd everybody.
At that point, well, no, I don't think so. But then, she's a Bene Gesserit, so you would think.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, because they can actually make men boys or girls.
Yeah.
Because we told you only. Go ahead. Girls. Because they
correct.
Want,
yeah.
The whole point of the Bene Gesserit, the nasty women, is they want a sister on the throne.
Correct. Yeah.
So, and Desmond's the son of one of the two leader 1A and 1B.
Well, that will become the two most powerful houses.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Which I mean, like that's fascinating because I never. Even in my other, which I guess you don't get that until because it's not even in. What's the one after Dune? Is it Children?
Messiah?
Yeah, Dune Messiah. He has children with the Emperor's daughter.
Correct. Yeah.
So
and then he has a concubine. He has Shani.
Right. Yeah. But in that he never breeds with the Harkonnens.
No, right. But Desmond's different because he has both of their DNA.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Is that so? Now here you get what'll eventually be the two warring houses.
Right.
Actually have a common ancestor.
Right. I wonder if they know that.
Right. Exactly. Like,
well, no, eventually,
how do you play that out? But I do think you're right. Desmond creates Desmond. I'm saying Desmond, and all of a sudden I'm thinking Lost.
Well, they.
Yeah, I know.
Potato to potato.
But he does create the what's the name of the elite fighting force, that we see in Dune proper.
Yeah, the King's Guard.
Yeah,
that's.
Well, they got a fancy name,
yeah,
but yeah,
they do.
Because it's like I watched Dune Part 1 with my mom. And then going back and finishing up Doom Prophecy, they have the same swords.
Yeah, exactly.
So
they all salute the same way.
Which also would make sense too at the beginning of Dune. Remember, it's or that military unit's chant.
Yeah,
sounds like Shia Lud.
Shia Lud.
That but that's like sandworms speak, right? So why not the dude who was swallowed and shat out by Shia Lud?
Right.
No,
and
sandworms.
You saw all the scars and everything.
Yeah.
On his back, and he got stabbed, and he burned Mother Supreme.
Yeah. Well, and if it weren't for his personal shield, he got blown up.
He did get blown up.
Yeah.
And he burned the Emperor.
Yeah.
And kissed. Was that the Emperor's wife?
Yeah, the Empress. Yeah.
The Empress.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because the other girl got a fucking gum jobber in her neck.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got to see one of those. Like in action. And sure enough, it went in and she died. Perfect. That's exactly how I pictured it in my head.
And then the Empress, you would think there's still enough poison on there that she could have just, tapped the Emperor.
Yeah, no.
But no, she just let him drown in his own blood.
Correct. You stay there.
But that was...
Now I'm in charge.
That was a really good sequence, too, because when he finds out, like, he's just being used by everybody around him.
Right.
And it's like, what's the only thing I can control?
Nothing, apparently.
Well, it's like me putting a knife in my chest. Like, that's the only thing. That's the only power I have, and I'm going to use it.
Well, of course.
So, yeah.
I just like that he...
So is, like, Desmond Hart going to become the Empress's concubine?
That's exactly.
Yeah.
Or he's still just going to be, like, the hand of the king.
Yeah, or...
Because that's kind of how I look at him now. Like, because I even said it. They were like, but you have the ear of the Emperor.
Yeah.
So he's the hand. So he'll be the hand of...
And he's also in charge of, like, the most elite fighting force.
Correct.
Yeah.
And he's banging the leader here.
Right.
So I'm basically her bodyguard.
Right, and he picked the Empress over his mother.
Correct.
By making sure his mother ends up in jail.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or worse. Man, those jails, like being up in the fucking thing. Yeah. Good Lord. Wow. Oh, that's right. He put his fucking daughter in the goddamn jail.
Yeah.
Fucking nasty women.
Yeah, the Empress did.
Yeah.
And then when the Emperor found out, he's like, what the fuck's going on? And then that's what leads him to being like, I'm nothing.
Yeah. And Mother Superior was like,
that was such a good scene too. Yeah.
Every decision for you.
Yeah.
And
that was a dick on the table move.
It was. She is a proper heel.
Yeah.
Yeah, God, man, I yes. We're gonna have to kill 6 minutes because I'm gonna start halfway through on Silo.
Well, no, we start Silo and then we'll just continue it on.
Okay. It's the new day. Zan Solo.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna jump right to the end here real quick at the end of the last episode. So what did she see floating?
Well, it said that like the rope came down.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
But they didn't show Zan Solo, right?
No, so when she gets back to the surface,
right?
She goes, but remember, she sees that blood trail, and she follows the blood trail. So,
but didn't she look up at something?
You're right. I'd have to go back and rewatch it because at first it seemed like she thought like he just ran away,
right?
But with the blood trail, which I think is fascinating, is like now you've introduced like there was somebody else.
Correct. There's a third person, thing, organism that bleeds.
Right.
In there.
It's not a
xenomorph.
Which actually would make sense is that so if Zan Solo's locked in the vault, the rebels would have kept somebody behind, a younger kid, to go when he gets out.
I hope they play chess with each other. That would be great. So, but that whole scuba...
Or backgammon.
Even better.
One light, one dark.
What?
Everything leads to Lost, anyway.
Right. Yeah, we established that a few episodes ago with the writing on the wall and stuff.
Yeah.
Right. The scuba diving scene. What was she thinking? And so, like, she was able to open the door, but then she got stuck because everything fucked up.
Oh, you're talking about the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was, I think, if I was in the writer's room, I would assume the idea there is that because she's never done it before. Like, you wouldn't think, like, because if you do any underwater stuff, like, you carry the weight with you.
Right.
You don't just drop it and, like, assume it's going to
they don't
tug
know.
along with you.
They don't know that.
Right, yeah. I mean, so...
She learned to swim 2 episodes ago.
Right, but, I mean, she doesn't know the ins and outs of it, which is...
No. And all Zan Solo just knows, I love how he knew about the bins.
Yeah.
Like, of all the shit.
Right.
All of it.
But
if you go down too far, you got to stop at 20 meters. What happens if you get sick, the bins? But you can go back down.
it wasn't her response. Was like, well, so since you know so much, why don't you fucking do it?
Yeah, exactly. Like, she was angry this episode. Angry. Dude, fuck this, fuck that. She was so mad at him. And he was like, are you mad at me? Why are you going to not be mad at me? Zan Solo's fantastic.
Yeah, I like that dynamic that they're setting up there.
Right.
That, like, I mean, he's got a lot to go or to travel.
Yeah, there's so many other, and then I like the fact that she seemed proper worried about him.
Right.
You know, not just I'm gonna be angry because the shit went down, but oh man, something bad might have happened.
Right.
Motherfucker. They got one more episode, right?
I think they have a couple more.
Yes. Okay, good, because shit is just now.
Well, I mean, at some point, I mean, you got to have one where, like, the water drains out of the silo.
Right.
So, or out of silo 51 or whatever the fuck it is.
Not Silo Prime.
Yeah, and
Zan Solo.
I still think it's all going to lead back to that door way down. So
right. Well, no, that's what it has to. But that's why I was like, if she pulls that door, is it going to flood out? The water's got to go somewhere.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, and right now, in the other half, that they're starting a fucking rebellion.
Yeah.
With fucking weapons and shit.
We'll
stay with Zan Solo.
Yeah. We'll get to the Silo Prime because there's a lot.
Yeah. So he saved her with antibiotics that he made. Did I hear that correctly? He was like, "Oh, thank God those antibiotics worked." When she woke up, because the last we saw her, she had like hit that, fallen out because of the.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, he would have had to.
No, without getting it, but so we see in the last episode in Prime at least what's inside the vault.
Yes.
So it looks like the vault, I mean, has everything you would need.
Oh, and more.
Right. So maybe that doesn't. I mean, they have unlimited amounts of.
They have an iPad with everything on it. Look like an iPad Pro. When he pulled that out, I went,
hang on.
Wait a minute.
But then it made a lot of sense though too. So
yeah, exactly. And that you could talk to it because they don't, typing's not a thing.
So would explain a lot about like Zan Solo, like he's trapped in a library for 30 odd years.
Right.
But with The following segment has been brought to you by Whatever Lola Wants. Go to WLWPrivateChefs.com for information to reserve top-quality chef and restaurant services in the Chicagoland area. The Nerla Nerds podcast is a production of Pulpery Media, produced and edited by Ben Grimion, marketing by Brock Ryder, graphic design by Beck Ryder and Ben Grimion, music by the Heisenberg Compensators.